Good morning and welcome to the channel on this Wednesday, the 5th of August 2026. Today I was going to give my vlog about the situation in Cuba, and then the thought struck me, well, what is it about Cuba that the US has had a blockade on since the 60s? And basically it is about the communist regime that was allowing Russia to put nuclear bombs or rockets on Cuba, which is very, very close to the US, in the 60s. And ever since then, America has had a blockade. Now, one of the things that Cuba has always done is that they have been aligned with the other communist states around the world. And I noticed that every time these so-called communist states align themselves against what we call the Western democracies, for want of a better word, they all have one thing in common. They're either communist states, or they are one-party states, or they are a one-leader states. But none of them are true democracies. And I think in itself that says something to us. So I thought we'd just have a look at this. So I thought I'd just break this down into dictatorships and communist parties. So top of the list is China, which is a dictatorship and is a communist one-party state. Cuba itself is a dictatorship and a communist one-party state. Laos is a dictatorship and a communist one-party state. Vietnam is a dictatorship and a communist one-party state. North Korea is a personalist and a communist and a one-party state and a dictatorship. They've got everything there. Eritrea is a one-party, but funny enough, in this occasion, it is a non-communist state. Russia, we are not calling it a communist state anymore, but it is an authoritarian state and it's a dominant party state, which means there's only one party will ever win the elections there, and they will always elect the one leader. Belarus is the same. It's an authoritarian state and it has one dominant party, will never let any others win. Here we go, Saudi Arabia. Well, it's an absolute monarchy, so you can say that's a one-party state. Myanmar is a military junta. Syria is a personalist state. Turkmenistan is a personalist state, etc. And so we go on. And it's funny that whenever there is a coming together against Western democracies, a combination of these states all seem to get together to form an alliance. And this is why I didn't come up with the reasons of what is going on in Cuba right now, which is pretty sad. And I'll go on to that probably in more detail tomorrow. But don't you find it strange that all of these so-called communists are all headed up by some form of dictatorship or authoritarian, non-democratic, shall we say? I mean, Russia, for example, allows other parties to operate, but they can never win because they lock up all the opposition. The same in Belarus, same in other parts of the world. Yes, and I could go on about other places, of course, in the Middle East, which, like Saudi Arabia, have sort of ruling king, emir, whatever, who also are authoritarian and rule without any democracy whatsoever. So, I'm not going to knock the democratic process, or I'm not going to knock anything really. I'm just presenting these as facts, and you can tell me what you think. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Take care.